Good morning, Pixel Enemy Revive. Today I want to talk to you about Battlefield 4 multiplayer and what type of inferences we can gather from the 17-minute single-player campaign trailer we saw today. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Kulprit. I'm a Battlefield 3 YouTuber. I've made about 250 videos about Battlefield 3, specifically about tactics and strategy, as that's what I enjoy the most. So if you enjoy those types of videos, make sure you head over to my channel and check it out. I think you'll like what you find over there. Now, today's topic is going to be about Battlefield 4 multiplayer. We don't have a lot of actual details in this yet. We're just going to kind of gather what we can from the single player trailer we saw and make some inferences and make some, theories onto what we might see in multiplayer, because that's what everybody cares about, right? Well, first thing I saw that jumped out at me was potential to have a shotgun as secondary. We all saw the clip where the guy, he puts his M16 down, he pulls out an 870 shotgun, tries to flank the Doom buggy, and he takes the guy out eventually. So does this open the can of worms as shotguns as secondary? We've seen it in Call of Duty, we've seen it in other games. That 870 shotgun that he used looked quite compact with a foldable front foregrip. Things like this. It looked like it was intended to be a secondary weapon. We won't know until we get some more details, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some form of shotgun as a secondary. I'm not really on board with this. I enjoy sidearm play as far as pistols. I feel like you should be at a little bit of a disadvantage if you run all your ammo dry, and a shotgun fest all over the place as secondaries could be kind of annoying. But who knows? He also does put that down, and he has a 320 as well. So it could just be a wrinkle in single player that allowed you to carry a lot more than you normally would be able to in multiplayer. Alternative sights. A lot of people are buzzing about this, and as cool as this is, I'm not so sure how I feel about this for multiplayer. Now, you guys saw it where he had the ACOG or the 3.4 scope, whichever it was, and he just kind of rolls it at a 45-degree angle, and he's got the iron sights. I love this. I think it looks very cool. I could definitely see myself using this all the time, but that's kind of the problem, is now that removes some of the tough decisions you make before you spawn in. Do you go with an ACOG and, you get the long-range benefits, but you also are at a little bit of a disadvantage up close, or do you go with like a red dot or just flat iron sights and reap the benefits up close and hip fire and these types of things, but take that disadvantage at long ranges? These are one of the crucial decisions you have to make in every match in every life, and if you're able to slap an ACOG with the irons, I don't see that balance there. So as cool as it is, I would love to see how they're going to do this. We need to hear more about it, obviously, but I worry that it's going to make it too possible to have just like an all-in-one kit and that everybody runs. Everybody already complains too much about the assault kit in Battlefield 3, that it does too much too well, it's overpowered, whatever you want to call it. This would go more along those lines where people would just have one weapon, one long-range optic, one short-range, i.e. the iron sights, and they just run with it and they would never change. So I'm looking to get away from that a little more, so I want to see some more details on this, obviously. But man, it looks really cool how he does it. He does it very quickly. Perhaps if there was a delay there, or maybe it takes some other kind of attachment away, now you can't put a heavy barrel on it or something. There's got to be some balance there, obviously. Suppression. We didn't really see any suppression in the video. Everybody's pointing to the clip where the Doom buggy is shooting with the 50 cal at the guy behind the concrete. Didn't see any signs of suppression there. What I did notice, though, there does seem to be a flinch mechanic as you're taking hits. Something we've seen along the lines of Call of Duty, where while you're getting hit, your body flinches, it's harder to aim. I'm okay with the flinch mechanic. I always felt like there should have been a little bit of a flinch mechanic, but I'm a proponent of suppression. I felt it needed to be tweaked. I felt the bullet deviation should be taken out. But I like the theory of suppression. I felt it gave a really cool tactical layer to Battlefield 3, so I do not want to see it removed. But I didn't see too many signs of it. I did see a little bit of it. I felt towards the end when the helicopter was shooting at him, but it was hard to tell. Was that suppression, or was that just particle effects and just general destruction kind of blurring the screen? It was hard to tell. So the jury's still out on suppression. We're not sure. Have they removed it? Have they tweaked it? I just don't know. Only time will tell on that. Spotting. This one, too, saw a big change, and I'm okay with that. As we all know, when you're in a gunfight or whatever, if you're like me, I play on PC, I'm continually spamming the Q button. Basically, if I'm aiming at somebody, I'm just queuing at the same time. Why not? There's really no reason not to. Sometimes it can help you pick out that extra enemy that you might not have seen. There's just no downside to it. Seems like they've introduced a downside to it, where you have to take your hand off the gun to hit this activator. I don't know if it's a button in his hand, his palm, or I don't know. He like waves his fist in front of his chest, and suddenly now every enemy on his screen seems to be highlighted. Now this, of course, could be just a single-player feature, where he's requesting, sensors from Overwatch, a plane in the sky, that type of thing, a drone. We don't know. But if this is brought over to multiplayer, this could be very game-changing. Obviously, you're spotting multiple targets, which I'm not crazy about. I like the idea you have to point your gun at a guy and literally see him for the most part before you can spot him. But the idea of taking your hand off your gun, you're limiting yourself. Now maybe you can hip fire if you get in a pinch, but you clearly aren't going to be able to aim down sights and kind of like really pick people off at the same time you're spotting. So I think that is an improvement. But clearly, if you're able to mark mass people at one time, could be OP. But there's a million ways to do this. This could be a piece of equipment that you have to, you know, put on your character. It could be just restricted to a certain class. Think recon type guy. We don't know yet, but it's clear that they're going to be kind of tweaking the spotting system, and I welcome that quite a bit. Now, another thing we did notice, clearly they showcased destruction. Destruction was everywhere. You were easily able to take down cover and get to the enemy. It almost seemed to be quite extensive. Like, you would shoot one grenade and it would just take out huge chunks of concrete. So clearly they're trying to show off destruction, but they did that with Battlefield 3, and we really never saw it come to fruition in the release. So it's hard to tell yet exactly where it's going to fall. I have concerns. I don't know how this increased destruction and just this increased use of the Frostbite engine is going to work on current gen consoles, which they are supporting. So I have concerns there that they might not be getting the full effect of Battlefield 4. So, and that will kind of add to the balance of multiplayer. I definitely want to see more destruction. I enjoyed destruction, even just from bullet fragments as you're getting shot at, to large scale, bringing down a building if somebody is, you know, hunkered down in there. You don't have to necessarily run up the staircase of death. You can just take care of them from the exterior if you have the equipment to do it. Another couple little things, sun glare definitely seem to be toned down. This is one of my biggest things. They need to tone this down, or they need to let us equip sunglasses. It's pretty annoying, especially when they don't balance it. They don't put it, let's say, at, you know, a 90-degree angle to both teams where you're not looking right directly into it. I particularly hate when they put the sun behind one team's base, so one team has to deal with it the entire match, the other team does not. I think it is quite imbalancing, and they needed to tweak it. It looks like they've turned it down a little bit. It's still there, it's still beautiful, but they did seem to turn it down. And no tint. I don't see blue, I don't see orange, I don't see any of that stuff. Let's hope they just leave it in its natural beauty and we can all enjoy what this great engine is putting out. That would be fantastic. And lastly, we've heard through the rumors and some of these leaks that we're going to get a lot more CQB type maps as well as urban combat, and they seem to be showing that quite a bit as well. You know, who's gonna run this town tonight? The Rihanna song, you know, city, town. It seems to be a theme recurring, so I think we're going to see more a la Sen Crossing, Grand Bazaar, maybe Metro, those types of maps, but hopefully they'll improve on them and refine their whole creative process as far as maps go, and I'll really be looking forward to that because those are the types of maps I enjoy. So guys, you tell me, what did you pick out of this single-player campaign trailer that you think would be cool to transfer over to multiplayer, and what kind of concerns do you have as far as transferring over to multiplayer, and what kind of multiplayer do you think we're going to get? I'm incredibly excited. I'm looking forward to this. This 6 months can't go fast enough. Let me know what you guys think, and thanks a lot, guys, for giving me this chance to share this video with you. I'm looking forward to many more. Take care, guys.